3:03 at WCBS. The Trump Foundation is shutting down as part of an agreement with New York's Attorney General. WCBS's Peter Haskell has the latest.
But when the Attorney General...
What is going on YouTube? Hayden back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we will be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XLMBTC. As always, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up if you want to see more content like this. We are on our way to 6,000 subscribers. We just broke past 5,800. Yes, I am watching and I'm very excited, so I do appreciate all you guys for subscribing to the channel. Otherwise, if you guys like the Litecoin Accepted Here t-shirt and you want to pick one up for yourself, there is a link in the description to my Crypto TV merch store. They are $20 and there is a limited supply, so don't make sure to miss out on that. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So as you guys know, in the description, I did talk about the possibilities of cryptocurrency Litecoin in specific moving lower on its path to a bull market. Otherwise, we do also need to look at JPMorgan's comment about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, as well as looking at the TA. So I am going to refresh the coin market cap right now, and we are going to get a general overview of these coins and pretty much kind of, you know, start brainstorming while we get into today's episode. So we do have a market cap right now of 114.5 bill, 24-hour volume 16.5, Bitcoin dominance 54.3. So comparing that to yesterday, Bitcoin dominance is moving much lower. We were almost at, 55% yesterday in terms of Bitcoin dominance. We see 24-hour volume of 16.5, which is around where we were yesterday, if not slightly lower. And we see, again, the very similar market cap as towards yesterday, 114.5 billion in market cap. So markets are up. Markets are doing fairly well. Yes, they are slightly down from yesterday, but for the most part, they're doing pretty darn well. Scrolling down, looking at these top 10 cryptocurrencies, we see a conglomerate of prices. We see very mixed matched in colors. We see it's kind of almost Christmassy. We could see things are either down by a little bit or up by a little bit, except for this outlier of 30% by waves, making a massive jump. But otherwise, things are just consolidating. Stratus is up by 17, but otherwise, looking at these top 10, Bitcoin Cash up by 9.6%. Otherwise, the rest of them are down by 1 to 2%. Really not much movement at all. Litecoin down by 2.6%, and I'll discuss why that is in 1 second. Yeah, there's a lot of coins up into double digits. Monacoin, Digitex Futures, Stratus, Bitcoin Cash. Oh, no, not Bitcoin Cash. Revain is up by 12. And let's see what is down really quick. We have DEX is down by 21%. Otherwise, the other ones we haven't really reviewed them. They're a little bit smaller to our channel. Moving on, though, we do want to look at this article really quick. This is a Bitcoin bear market is scaring off institutional investors, claims JPMorgan. Now, this doesn't mean it is true. Just because JPMorgan claims this does not mean it is true. I do want to just bring this to your guys' attention because I do think all of these articles are very important for you guys to understand cryptocurrency and what is going on. So it says institutional investors are being scared off by the protracted crypto bear market. That's the assessment of a team of JPMorgan Chase and Co. analysts, including global market strategist Nicolas Panigurtsoglou. I think that was that. To touch upon that, I think I did make a video on JPMorgan a couple of months ago, and we even saw JPMorgan, they actually got involved into cryptocurrency. They said they don't want anything to do with Bitcoin, but they are actually making blockchain, or they're adding blockchain to their company. So they're very biased, I think, in what they say. I think they like to scare the market and spread FUD, and then they buy it up, so could be interesting when they start making claims like this. It may be a way to think that maybe we're going to start heading up soon. Maybe they're actually buying in and they're just kind of putting out this FUD to get the coins a little bit lower so they can buy better prices. So it says JP Morgan altcoins are getting crushed. Other crypto continues to suffer disproportionately during the correction phase, according to JP Morgan. Moreover, JP Morgan says the crypto winter has caused mass attrition among unprofitable miners as the hash rate has continued to unravel during the past few months. We've discussed that too. In a couple of days ago, we talked about how mining Bitcoin is not as profitable for certain people. This suggests that prices have declined to a point where mining is becoming uneconomical for some miners who have responded by turning their mining rigs off. Then it says, meanwhile, market insiders say a myopic focus on mining costs makes analysts lose sight of the big picture. Barry Silbert, the founder of crypto investment fund Digital Currency Group, said mining costs are not the proper benchmark with which to value the asset class. You have to separate the investment decision that a miner is making from the operating costs for them to mine the Bitcoin. So it said Silbert continued claiming that crypto mining operations have a long-term focus. They're not thinking of the short-term gains. I don't know. That's very biased too. The mining businesses that have created over the past 5 years have accumulated massive amounts of capital. They have the ability to continue mining at a loss. That is what I was referring to in the last episodes we made when I said these smaller guys, it's not going to be profitable for them because they're just getting into it. But these massive, massive companies that have been mining and making tons of money, they can mine at a small loss for, a couple months. It's not really going to affect them in hopes that crypto picks up and then it becomes more profitable. It says JP Morgan's skepticism toward Bitcoin is not new, and it comes straight from the top. The investment bank CEO Jamie Dimon openly hates Bitcoin and has often bashed it as a fraud. Yet we've talked about them being interested in it, and they actually bought or opened some sort of blockchain tech into their business. So it's very interesting that he's coming out once again with negative news. Said in October 2018, Dimon, who has repeatedly promised to stop talking about Bitcoin, again reiterated that he despises it, but gave props to blockchain, saying it is legit innovation. So it's kind of odd. I do think this is a pretty recent article too. Yeah, 5 hours ago. It's just referencing an older tweet, which is interesting. It says in September 2017, Dimon vowed to fire any JP Morgan trader engaging in Bitcoin activity. That's pretty odd too. I'd fire them in a second, he said. While Jamie Dimon continues to protest too much about Bitcoin, other investment bankers have a less emotional outlook. Crypto Evangelist 2019 will be epic. So this pretty much is the exact opposite. JP Morgan is bashing it, but then we have people on the other hand saying the virtual currency industry is bracing for a milestone in 2019. In anticipation of a surge in institutional investments, Galaxy Digital founder Mike Novogratz, a former partner of Goldman Sachs, said he expects Bitcoin prices to clear new highs in 2019. So that's odd too. We have people that are so left-wing, that are anti-Bitcoin and crypto, and we have the far right-wing that can see crypto, making all-time highs again. So is it possible that we're going to see all-time highs in 2019 with Litecoin and Bitcoin? It's odd. We have CCN Crypto Coin News bull call. Novogratz says Bitcoin will see record highs in 2019. So that's an interesting tweet from Crypto Coin News. But, let's use that and now look at the markets and kind of get a general opinion. So on the short term for Litecoin, on the 4 hour, you can see what is happening. You can see where this resistance is. It is a very small resistance. I'll draw a very small horizontal line right here. Should be small. There we go. You can see where that is referring to. So you can see we have a bounce right here where we bounced up off of that and used it as a small support. These aren't secure lines. We're looking at this on the 4 hour scale. They're not secure. You can see where we retested that, had some resistance and pulled back down. You can also note that we were extremely overbought. We were entering an overbought, way too accumulated market, and we needed to pull back down in the short term, which we did. What did we use? We finally had support down here, broke through the high-low MMA, and are now using it as a support to continue upwards. So what I think is really good, and I did call that we were going to see some short-term pullback, from 30 to 27 is not too bad, $28. We needed this pullback in order to get out of being overbought, so that's why we're seeing that short-term dip. But because we're now back in a more neutral territory, it is very possible that we could use that to continue to move upwards. Obviously, we're all looking forward to that. Looking at the daily now, you can see the massive leap we have. And honestly, you know, this is a more secure way of trading when you see the daily, because the daily, it's more long-term. So in the term of daily movements and daily candles, with us only being at around 46, 45 on the relative strength indicator or index, it gives us the possibility that this small decline, we still have plenty of potential to move much higher. You know, if we manage to break through $29.83, $30 where that resistance is, we could run on that as a support and then continue all the way up and, you know, meet up with our high-low MMA on its daily, which you can see right here is currently at like 45. We could meet it halfway at $38, and that would definitely be quite profitable. You can see where it dipped, where we hit support, where we're shooting up from. It's nice that we didn't break through this. You know, it would have been very unfortunate if we broke through this, entering oversold on the daily and the weekly, and fell all the way down to $10, $11. It's still possible, but it's nice to see that we're finally moving in a upwards direction instead of falling down. Now, that's not to say we can't continue to fall. You can see what we've had in the past. Right here in the past, we were teeter-tottering on being oversold. We shot up, similar to what's happening right now, but then we had this catastrophic downfall, which you can see right here. So it's possible that this could lead to another pullback. It is, but it's unlikely. But we do have to keep that on the back burner because it is still a possibility. Looking at the daily, you know, I think long term the daily looks okay. Are we going to see, you know, 2019 all-time highs? It's possible. You know, we've seen a $420 Litecoin before. It is still possible to see it again, you know, now that we have a point to move up to. You know, we've seen this, we've seen the price. It's not like $700, which we haven't touched yet. You know, $400 is a price we've been to in the past. And you can see the massive explosion we've had here when we were extremely overbought. Well, we're now the opposite. Instead of extremely overbought, we're now oversold, you know, on Litecoin's weekly, which is an indicator that we could see at least a small pullback, at least up to $65, $70. All I'm referring to is a movement back up to our high-low MMA, which is right here on its weekly. That's where the green band is. That is at 63.50 in that general region. But a nice pullback up to there is definitely possible. And honestly, I'd say 60%, 70% likely. More likely than us heading lower due to the fact that we are so oversold. Bitcoin's daily, you can see where we had this descending triangle form in for all those new subscribers who haven't seen videos. Just a quick recap, we had a massive descending triangle forming all the way since, you know, the end of 2017. We had this massive run up, then we started to kind of accumulate and pull back down, and you can see the waves of volume slowly start to trickle down into one point. We broke bearish from that, unfortunately. That would have been a very nice surprise if we shot up, but we didn't, and we do have to run with that and, you know, use that. I do want to just get rid of that right there. There we go. And you can see now we're just trying to find bare bottom. We're trying to find rock bottom. That's what we kind of did right here at $3,000, $3,100. We found a bottom where our previous, you know, back in September of 2017, that was a previous bottom right there. We've used that. You can also see we've used it as a support, which I didn't mention before, all the way in June of 2017. We've used it as a resistance right here. So it's a pretty strong band all in all. You know, it's nice that we held that pretty darn well, and it looks like if things go according to plan and go positively, a movement upwards all the way retesting its high-low MMA is possible. You know, if we half that out, $4,600 is likely for Bitcoin to move, being that we are pretty much rock bottom. Ethereum, also positive. It is green. You know, I do think the same thing would happen here. There is a descending triangle that formed. We have yet to break in out of it. It is possible, though, that if you wanted to classify this as its descending triangle, then I guess we have broken out. You can see right here where we had this consolidation, this sideways trading, and then it broke down. I don't want to classify it as that due to the fact that it's still trending its downtrend. It's still below it. We're really waiting to see whether or not we can break bullish through that and head up to at least its high-low MMA, right at around a price of 287, which is huge. You know, I think Ethereum's an underdog right now. I do think it has plenty of potential to move in that direction. It's just we have a matter of time of waiting and seeing where it wants to go. You can see previously what Ethereum was doing, this like low volume sideways momentum until it hit its downtrend and fell. You can see it's doing that again. You know, we could literally just move this over ever so slightly, and you can see how close we are once again to its downtrend. So this is going to be a huge moment within Ethereum in a couple of days. You know, definitely within the end of this week, we're going to see whether we can break through that, head up to its high-low MMA, you know, retesting 178, 180, or if we're going to break bearish and then fall even lower, which would be very unfortunate due to the fact that we are so low. You know, last time we hit the resistance, we were trading at 60 on its relative strength indicator. We're currently at 38, so it's much lower. So it does give us plenty of potential to swing in that direction. Otherwise, to wrap things up, XLMBTC, you can see we were bottomed out near 0.3 on its Elliott wave. For whatever reason, we broke through that. I wasn't anticipating that, but we did. We called a move from 4 to 5. That is what happened. We did fall a little bit lower than I was anticipating, but you can see it caught support where its 3 was, as well as these wicks in the past, as well as back at 1, where some of these candles in April of 2018 were. But if we manage to consolidate out and get back into the downtrend, I think, or into the symmetrical triangle, we may just consolidate out or at least start to run up, go back to a previous high, and then, follow things through that way. We'll definitely check that out. I don't want to make a call that's, 4 months ahead or 2 months ahead than now. That's a little wacky, but in the short term, I do think, or the semi-long term, I do think a move at least back up to this support is definitely where it's trying to head to. But otherwise, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, like I said, I appreciate the subscription. If you're not new, thank you for being a loyal subscriber. If you are new, make sure to subscribe. Smash the like button. This way I know to keep making more content like this. Leave a giant thumbs up. Turn on post notifications and check out the Crypto TV merch. Peace.